Hello, all you naughty children out there. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din coming at you with another review of Miraculous Ladybug. It's Season 3, Episode 3, titled Christmaster, which sees Marinette babysitting Nino's sweet baby brother. Who, in all honesty, would give Chloe a run for her money in terms of overall brattiness. Like, my god, kid, like, between his voice and his attitude, it is just, it's a bit much, honestly. But Marinette does her absolute best in order to keep him from playing a video game that is actually above his age limit, which all parents should do. There's age restrictions on these things. So, always check the, ratings for games before a child plays them. However, he almost gets into a entire trunk filled with presents that Marinette has made for Adrien. And she doesn't want Chris to see them because she knows that he would pass it along to Nino, who would pass it along to Adrien, and it would just create this weird situation. So ultimately Marinette comes up with this fib that she's one of Santa's elves, and she has various presents for the good boys and girls. And no one can receive presents before Christmas, with one exception being Ladybug, who is one of the best kids in all the world because she's constantly saving Paris. So she completely feeds Chris this outright lie. And as Nino and Alia come back from their date to pick up Chris is completely distraught, wishing it were Christmas already, which, this should have dawned on Marinette that this is immediate red flag with a kid just being this absolutely destroyed over their conversation. Like, yeah, he's obviously prone to Hawkmoth right then and there. And even Tiki, being the ever eagle-eyed little creature that she is, immediately notices, just like, yeah, you done goofed, Marinette. You done really goofed on that end. But Marinette plays it off as no big deal and goes about creating yet another gift for Adrien, which she will ultimately probably never give him. And she works into the wee hours of the night. The next morning, however, she notices that it's snowing outside, even though it is nowhere near wintertime. But then she looks up and notices fire-breathing koi fish and toys patrolling the streets looking for Santa. And even the Eiffel Tower has been turned into a whole Christmas tree. A whole Christmas tree. So naturally Marinette turns into Ladybug and goes racing off as the toy soldiers go from place to place demanding the whereabouts of Santa. And Ladybug even sees a news report where the toys take it over and even give an "all your base are belong to us" meme reference. Like, what? And like almost like a terrorist situation, or just like, bring us Santa or we will bomb the streets of Paris. Like, Jesus. And Marinette even stumbles upon the ruined wreckage of Santa's sleigh, which looks like it was bombed out of the sky, like Jesus. But then she contacts Cat Noir, who has actually managed to save Santa from his burning sleigh. However, a toy dog appears on the scene in order to sniff out the scent of Santa Claus. As Ladybug meets up with Santa and Cat Noir to get a grasp on the situation, where Santa, regales them over how he ended up here, with him having no real idea, honestly. He just showed up in Paris. Ladybug's a little confused by this whole situation, but Cat Noir just plays it off because they deal with weird stuff all the time. It's kind of their thing for the most part, as they are found out by the toy army. As Ladybug and Cat Noir go in to defend Santa, the dog demands that Santa give a gift to their master, Christmaster. However, Santa completely denies them, saying that there are rules in place for Christmas, the same rules that Marinette had given to Chris in terms of how presents work. and Marinette immediately connects the dots that it's Chris who is the akumatized controller of all these toys, with Santa saying that there is only one ever exception, namely Ladybug. However, the toys don't take this lying down and go on the attack, and Ladybug and Cat Noir go in to intercept them, only for everyone to just go sliding all over the ice. Honestly, a lot of the comedic timing in this episode is pretty on point in a lot of places. Not to mention the vocal work wasn't like overly quick like it normally is. It seemed like it was more slower paced in order to get everything out for the most part, because that's the difference between French and English languages. French, they talk a lot faster than the English language goes, so sometimes the American voice actors will have to try to go very fast in their dialogue in order to match the lip flaps, but I wasn't seeing that so much here, so maybe something has changed in the animation process with Zagtoons. With that, ultimately, Ladybug and Cat Noir try to escape with Santa Claus as best they can, with Ladybug handing over Santa's hat to throw the dog off their scent. So Cat Noir does so in order to, buy some time for Marinette and Santa, who Marinette has an idea as to what is actually going on. And it's basically outright confirmed when she runs into Nino, who's looking for his little brother Chris, who's gone missing with a bunch of his own toys. So Ladybug uses her lucky charm to bring out a pen, paper, and a letter in order to write a letter to Santa Claus requesting her gift early. And since she's at the height of the nice list, that's what she told Chris, ultimately Santa reads the letter, and it's a request to get the present that Chris wants in order to kind of lure him out for the most part, with Santa being like, are you sure this is the only present you'll get this year? So showing the more self-sacrificing nature of Ladybug, but then at the same time Marinette kind of screwed the pooch on this one, so might as well just bite the bullet and just give up her Christmas present for, basically the stunt she pulled. So she receives the present for Christmaster, calls him out, and as a helicopter comes by to grab the present, Ladybug ends up following it to this Lego castle in the sky, where Christmaster has the present turned over to him, which is a little toy robot from the game he wanted to play. We also see that the toy army has captured Cat Noir in place of Santa, with Hawkmoth commanding Christmaster to turn over the Miraculous to him. But Ladybug manages to free Cat Noir beforehand as they confront Christmaster, saying that he's a naughty little boy and he don't get no presents, being a naughty little thing. But Christmaster shows off his abilities, which is taking toys, putting them into a snow globe, which brings them to life for the most part, with all the same powers and abilities as the real deal. And as they do battle, ultimately Ladybug starts to time out, although the timeout always seems to work as well, it works as long as the plot needs it to. So as they, do their best in order to fight out the giant toy versions of themselves, Christmaster revels in the chaos and pandemonium, only for Santa to come in and deal with the giant toy Ladybug and Cat Noir. With that, they confront Christmaster, and Hawkmoth's just like, don't let him get you, and, if you let him get you, I'd take away your toys. So Christmaster ultimately just brings the robot to life. However, Ladybug uses this opportunity to use Christmaster as a human shield to keep the robot from attacking, and Cat Noir brings out his Cataclysm and threatens to destroy the robot, with Christmaster just being like, no, don't destroy my toy, don't do it, bro, it's a collector's item. And ultimately Ladybug asks for the snow globe, in exchange for not destroying the robot, which he naturally complies because he's a little kid and he doesn't know any better, much to the absolute frustration of Hawkmoth. Like, man, I love this face that he does because it's so out there. Just this expression of despair. It's just like, I can't believe this, I was so close. And Ladybug tosses the snow globe over to Cat Noir, who immediately destroys it with his cataclysm, and they set everything back to right. With Ladybug talking things out with Chris, who doesn't really remember too many of the previous events. And as she's about to time out, Cat Noir takes Chris back to Nino. And we see the next day that Alia and Nino are going on yet another date, leaving Chris with Marinette, who's not too happy about it, honestly. But Chris ultimately, repents for his past misdeeds, having known that lying is not right, and they promise to, make a pinky promise not to lie to each other anymore. And when he ultimately asks what's in the trunk that Marinette was hiding, she says it's all just lovey-dovey stuff that she wanted to give to Adrian, which Chris is immediately disinterested in because he's a little child and, he's all about that ew cootie stuff. So that's where our episode ends, which honestly, man, time and time again, Marinette is the biggest cause of all her own problems. She is the sweetest girl in the whole entire world, but I will be damned if she does not cause just almost every single problem that she has to deal with in some way, shape, or form because she tried to lie her way out of a situation. That's what happened last episode too. Like, man, I love Marinette. She's a sweet, funny girl, but oh man, Christmaster Almighty, she needs to know when to shut up sometimes. But tell me your thoughts on this episode in the comment section below. What did you like? What did you hate? Do you wish this would have moved along, or were you not really feeling this episode? And if you like this review, feel free to leave me a like, and if you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike and tell me what I'm doing wrong in the comment section below so I might better myself for future videos. But until then, feel free to subscribe because I'll definitely be bringing you more Chris-tacular episode reviews of Miraculous Ladybug. But until then, thanks so much for joining me, and a early Merry Christmas to you all. Bye-bye.